Okay, so on the bottom of that liver and stress, we have a system that we use in our office called the CleanseMax system. It's used to detoxify the body. I've done this system, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm not saying this to be silly, I had some of the hugest bowel movements that ever came out of my body. But it has a colon cleanse. It has a parasite cleanse. It has a yeast cleanse. It has a heavy metal cleanse. It takes about 5 or 6 months. Because people always say, well, what do I need to do to detoxify? This is probably one of the simplest methods that we found. It's not for everybody, but it's a system that we have found. You see why I have the word xenohormones there? That's going to be the new buzz in America today. You're going to start seeing more about that with plastic. I'm going to tell you right now, start looking for plastics that have number 7 on them. You don't want to consume items with number 7. You do not want to use microwaved food. Like there are certain companies that have this lush on advertisements on TV. You know, they have this chopped suey and it looks luscious and they have a little parsley. If you heat that up in the microwave, I'll guarantee you, you're going to put xenohormones in your body, which are synthetic estrogens, which plug up your liver. You don't want your liver plugged up. You want to eat your apple, beets, and carrots every day. So let's talk about the adrenal gland. This is the stress gland. This appears to be one of the effects so many. High release of hormone from the adrenals can create an environment where the extra food you eat is not burned but flipped over to fat. See where it says high cortisol? High cortisol level causes this whole belly fat syndrome. Because what's happening is that your body is converting all of your extra tissue to fat. So when you have exhaustion, these are the people that have the skinny little legs and the skinny little arms and the big old bellies. Because what's happening is that they're burning all their muscle up because they don't have enough they're under stress, so their body's using all the cortisol, burning all the fuel up inside of their body, and they're getting this big old belly that's deposited. So here's the issue that people have. They crave sugar. Now, if I have a raise of hands, and I don't need to have the raise of hands in the room, that most of you probably have an addiction to sugar. I had one person who was on TV, she said if her drug of choice was sugar, she would have overdosed already. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? So if you crave sugar, we have a product that we use called Cataplex GTF, or Whole Food Chromium, if you're watching us by way of the internet. I have some people take 3 a day, some people have to take 6 a day, some people have to take 9 a day. It helps take away the craving for sweets. The next item that we have there is called Gymnema. Gymnema takes away the taste for sweets. The chromium takes away the desire for sweets. There's a big difference there. So if you are craving sugar, that's one of the reasons that we do hair analysis. You're mineral deficient. So when you're mineral deficient, you're gonna want to eat carbs. You're gonna want to eat sugar. And it starts this whole process, especially with your insulin going up and down. Now here's another little secret weapon I learned. It's a product that we use called Colocol. Colocol is bile salts. Now listen to this story here. Let's say that all of you were cells of glucose, your molecules of glucose in your body. And if I was going to take chicken fat and spray it on all of you, guess what you just became? Glucose molecules are covered with chicken fat that would be unavailable for the body. Now what I'm going to share with you now is very important. Your gallbladder, which is located right here, is your detergent in your body. Got that? Your gallbladder, which is right here, is your detergent in your body. If you don't have a gallbladder that's functioning optimally, you're not going to have detergent. So all the glucose in your body is covered with a layer of fat. So your body doesn't see the fuel. All it sees is a whole bunch of fat. So guess what it's constantly craving? More carbs. I have people that come and look at me that they are starving for carbs. That's a lot of times because they have poor fat metabolism. So we have to fix this liver gallbladder mechanism. That's why you want to eat an apple every day. That's why sometimes if you look at the notes, we have to use Colocol. Colocol is a bile salt. I usually have you take 1 a day, the next day 2, the next day 3, back to 1. Getting the bile thin inside of your liver. That's why you want to eat the skin on the apple. That's why you want to eat apples. Apples keep your bile flowing. So it's apple, beets, and carrots. So where you can see right now, I've given you actually 3 reasons that people could have a weight issue. And that's really, really significant. Now, during the day you might want to cut back on caffeine because it could raise your cortisol level up. Sometimes we might have to do a saliva test of your cortisol. I can tell you that people might have a harder time if they drink a lot of coffee and tea during the day to lose weight. because it's stimulating cortisol in your body. Some of you could lose weight just by stopping coffee. Now, when I drink coffee, I drink half calf, half decaf, organic coffee. If I was to drink straight caffeine coffee, it just creates too much stress on your body. So some of you watching me right now, anywhere in the world, get back on the coffee. Now, there is caffeine in colas. People hate when I say that. There's caffeine in tea, not all teas. There's caffeine in chocolate. There's caffeine in certain pain medications. So just be aware of the caffeine raising your cortisol level up. Sometimes we have to do a hair analysis. Hair analysis tells me if you need chromium in your body or not. Sometimes if you're in our practice, or if you want to come and visit us wherever you're at, we have a piece of equipment called an acoustic cardiogram. We can listen to your heart. Now watch. Blood has to flow through your liver before it goes back to your heart. We have found on an acoustic cardiogram that the blood impedes heart function. So we have found for people who have a hard time losing weight, they have a plugged up liver, bright light will bother their eyes, they get dizzy from a sit to a stand position because their adrenal glands are weak. So we'll go reiterate what's going on. Pituitary gland can be affected, if you have a toxic liver, bright light can bother your eyes. So if you have varicose veins, you crave salt, you have hemorrhoids and spider veins, and then turn it over to thyroid weight loss, if you have cold hands and cold feet,
You can have it all.
you could have it all. Okay, so thyroid. This is a biggie. This is America. Cold hands and cold feet. Are you depressed? You probably could be depressed if you look at yourself in the mirror. Don't take that personal. Okay, you might want to have a TSH done. Thyroid stimulating hormone, T3 and T4. Why? Because that tells me how your thyroid's doing. And we came up with a phenomenal test called the urine iodine loading test. We have found what's going on in our society. There's a lot of reasons people are overweight. But if you take a shower, which I'm sure that most of you in this room did today, and you're breathing in that chlorine, guess what it's doing to your thyroid gland? It's stopping it from working. That's why we encourage people to get shower dechlorinators. The new buzz in the future is going to be saltwater pools. The new buzz in the future is that houses are going to have shower dechlorinators in them as a part of the whole mechanism because we're exposed to too many toxins. So if you have a hot tub at home, a pool at home, or you take a shower with chlorine in it, it's toxic to your thyroid gland, okay? How do we know that? You do the thyroid, TSH, T3, and T4, the iodine loading test. Japanese use up to 12 milligrams of iodine every day, okay? It's fuel for the body. In our practice, we usually have our patients take 1 prolamine iodine a day, 3 milligrams of iodine, for a week, and then 2, then 3, then 4 a day for a week. We flip them up to another product called Iodoral. Go slow. Talk to me. It's very important. You just don't want to start taking iodine with reckless abandonment. Now I've also found there's a great website you could all go to called www.optimox.com. www.optimox.com. Listen, ladies, you could have cysts on your breast. You could have breast cancer, ovary cyst, ovary cancer, prostate cancer, and I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of it has to do with not enough iodine in your body. It's not a cancer class, this is a weight loss class, iodine has a lot to do with it. Let's go on to the next subject. How about limiting calories? There are a lot of theories about weight loss and calories. There's some people that say to limit your calories. I've read a lot of research, you want to not necessarily limit your calories. Think what I'm going to say to you. Be logical on the calories you're consuming. Protein and carbs have 4 calories per gram. Fat has 9. So in all theory, you would think that if you ate fat, you'd get fat. But when you eat carbs, what I am learning, that you eat carbs, it causes your insulin to go up. And guess what you crave all day? Carbs. Guess what the worst way to start your day off with? A breakfast pastry. Breakfast cereal. Start your day off with an egg. Start your day off with protein. Start your day off with what we call a log. A log would be a protein or fat, so you're not getting this insulin rush going on inside of your body. It's very, very significant. So, some of you, when you're hungry, guess what you need to do? Drink water. If you just, some of you, stopped drinking coffee, drank more water, took a little bit of iodine, got off of the carbs by taking some chromium and some gymnema, I've had patients lose 12 pounds just getting off of soda pop. I have people lose 12 pounds getting off diet soda pop because it's very toxic to the body. Okay, so I would have half calf, half decaf coffee, organic preferred. I would have carrots during the day, tomatoes, celery,